Also, I think my mushrooms are ready. Good. Matsutake, got your girls had earlier. Real more clubhead caps. Alright, 3 grills, 3 clubhead caps, 2 Matsutake caps. Okay. Alright, I can work with that. One Gyrio. Complete this one. Rico meets you at the entrance of the lab, leaning on her crutch with a glint in her eye. Walk with me, sleeper. I'd like to tell you a story. He makes her way down the corridor that leads back towards the main commune building. People first crossed what we call Founder's Gap at the Greenway. They did so against the wishes of Andre Erlin. At the time, Erlin was trying to stabilize the Union and establish control over the Eye in the wake of Solheim's collapse. With chaos. Weak factions, failing systems, so many dead and injured riots. That was his priority. You both crossed through a glass-roof tunnel. Greenway outside crowded with vines and branches, dappling the light. Erlin had written the Greenway off, cut off from the rest of the station, and linked to a broken spoke. He claimed it was only a matter of time before everything here would die. He refused to let anyone abandon their duty to the Union and cross. They were traitors to the cause, or as it has. Rico continues, making her slow but steady way to the inner gardens of the commune. There weren't many of us, but we believed what was here was worth saving. We had to keep our plans quiet until we crossed. Some of us left people behind. She pauses to catch her breath, her voice cracking. It's different to know from effort or emotion. What we found was a disaster, nothing like what you see here. Half the Greenway was leaking oxygen into space, the plants flash frozen. The other half was a swamp of mulch. Decaying matter clogged every system. Worked hard, lost good people, cleaned up and closed up. It was never going to be enough. After many, many cycles, we all knew this place was doomed. We kept working, talking less and less, because we couldn't face it. We all developed a death wish. If Greenway was going to die, so would me. Changed. Everything. We collapsed some invisible boundary, tipped some biological scale, and the Greenway started to recover. Plants flowered, crops sprouted. First time we reaped the fruits of our labor. Rico smiles. We thought it was us. We had managed to do just enough to end the cycle of decay. And I thought we had saved the Greenway. Until today. We passed the grow beds of the commune, rich with the hustle and bustle of hypha members planting and harvesting. For a while, Rico was quiet, and you both simply observed the hot night movements of the workrooms. Eager chatter washing over you like a wave. Rico smiles to herself. We should have known, of course, that our arrogance was unfounded. We need to believe back then. We needed a myth to bring more people across the gap. We moved more into the smaller corridor, Rico following some direction unknown to you. What you have told me is that, back then, Greenway saved us, not the other way around. Tell me, have you ever consumed one of the Mizutake or Gyro caps you've grown? Yes, I have. I imagine they were delicious, nutritious, almost uniquely shown. So, business. After all, they were designed for you. She has a mischievous look. At first, I thought it was the location they were grown in that made the mushrooms from the aviary, the labs, or the grove different to each other. But I've come to understand that is the person growing them. The Matsutake Griol caps you brought me were totally unique, each containing compounds never usually found in similar specimens in my possession. Many of these compounds aren't even digestible for humans. But for a sleeper like you, she smiles as she leads you into the internal garden of the commune, where the hive members have planted species from all over the Greenway. Back when the tide turned, when the Greenway started to recover, we all felt something. Our response was as if this place was not just alive, the forest is alive, but alive in other ways. Communicative, responsive. We got shredded off at the time, but now I understand why. Rico stops and turns to you. This place is responding to us, adapting itself to us. It's growing, fruiting bodies for you, for me. Adapting, changing. In short, it is displaying all the signs of sentience. Greenway is sentient? Perhaps not the Greenway, perhaps the ecosystem itself, or something within it. Rico sits on the bench within the peaceful garden, suggesting for you to join her. You've been growing the Giriols and Matsutakes in the Avery. This species is so familiar with the Greenway. Have you discovered any others? Rico can barely contain her excitement. I'd like to see those. Please bring me some next time you are here. Look around the garden, amazed at the sense of peace within it. Rico interrupts the silence. There's a species they haven't seen in years. A dark, short, shaped like a club. It was found in those early days. We were looking to save the place. Around the time we started to lose our first members. They were succumbing to some infection, some mold growing deep in the dark mulch that surround this place. At that point, we thought we were lost. And then those mushrooms emerged from that same black mold. We tested them. We thought they contained some compounds that counteracted the mold. They contained an antidote. Of course, as a botanist, I saw this part of the natural processes of the ecosystem. Even though the time scale seemed absurdly short. What I'm wondering is if that antidote was a gift. Rico meets your eyes. Perhaps if you're patient, you will receive your gift too, sleeper. We both sit for a while, Rico seemingly done telling stories for his day. Watch the light playing off the leaves and plants around you, and wonder what forces can be at play in this place. After a while, you stand and leave. Quiet nod to Rico, leaving her to remembrance. Clubhead samples! I got 4 of those. I have more than enough to finish this part of the quest. Rico was at her bench, running small vials of some liquid through an old chemical analysis machine. The whirring of the spinning drums fills the lab with a white noise. You aren't sure if she noticed as you approach. Sleeper, it's good to see you. She looks up smiling. The project virus would keep me awake the past few cycles, but right now, well, I think I have something. Is it? Jump finishes spinning, and she lifts a vial from it, holding it to the light. This is something I extracted from those clubheads you've been drinking. According to my analysis, it's a substance totally unique on the Greenway. You look at the small amount of liquid in the vial. Any idea what it might be? Rico asks without looking away from the vial. I'm gonna guess stabilizer. Rico nods. You weren't the first sleeper to come through here. Perhaps I should have mentioned that earlier. I encountered one earlier in the mercenary quest line. Her tone suddenly drops, changing the atmosphere of the lab immediately. I just thought. She pauses, being very careful how to continue. I just want you to trust us. Me? They came up here a few cycles ago. Found them wandering in the broken section near the gap. Members who brought them had never seen one of you before. They're terrified of the strange person wandering in from up the vacuum. They were quieter than you, damaged. We did our best to patch them up and welcome them to the commune. I only spoke to them once while I was working on their wounds along with a couple of system engineers. She looked nervously at you. Never seen a body like that. She took some readings, some samples. She scanned your face for any sign of a reaction. The next cycle they were gone. Took a little food and hiked up wild margins, where the greenway meets the wastes. Somebody saw them in the distance, but that was it. They disappeared into the overgrowth. She sits down heavily, the vial in her hand. I saw you wanted things to be different. I wanted to keep you here rather than let you disappear. Wherever they ended up. She smiles to herself. Yes, I wanted to understand this place better, but I also wanted to help you. It seems that somehow, both my wishes have come true at once. He holds out a hand with the vial. This is for you. Take the stabilizer, the glass cold and smooth and calm. Thank you. Don't thank me, she gazes out at the green glass. Those club head caps made it for you, or at least who or whatever made those club heads. It was right here, which starts to right here, contained in their tissue. I only had to extract it. Imagine you understand how incredible that is. I learned enough from that sleeper to know that your body, your frame on it, is it? Runs on some exotic technology. Exotic technology is the Hamlet built him. Somehow the Greenway knows that too. It understands your physiology much better than I ever could. It knows how to treat you. Just like the miraculous antidote that's sprung from the mold, so too was this sprung from your presence here. The Greenway is speaking to you. It's welcoming you. She looks up. Now it sounds crazy, but I know it to be true. Here's the evidence. And what I also know is it's no longer speaking to me. Decades near here, I've never seen this kind of response. Not since the antidote so many cycles ago. She smiles. So I'll make you a deal. You bring me as many clubheads as you like. I'll extract the stabilizer and give it to you, freely. But you have to do what the Greenway says. You have to speak with it. Dig into it, and find out what being at the center of it. I've traveled as far as I can. I need you to rest. Can you do that? Yes. She sighs with relief and deflates into her chair. Thank you. I am sorry for the other sleeper. Truly I am. I'm sorry I couldn't have done more. I am so glad I met you. She smiles. You're welcome here anytime. She falls silent. She looks much smaller now. More fragile, and realize how old she must be to have seen the collapse firsthand. I know a little in the lab, in case she asks for anything else, but she remains silent. She drifts back into the tunnel, thoughts of that other sleeper, where they ended up waiting. Alright, 2. I need 1 more in order. To get level up again, but now, at long last, plant the gardener's seed. And with that, I can grow club heads, make stabilizer. I can also buy it when I've got the money, but I have an alternative option. Alright, so back over this way. Let's collect some spores. Also need to eat. Perfect. Okay. let's work on... building still.
Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please like and subscribe, and also consider backing my Patreon. Patreon backers get episodes up to 1 week early of this show and any future Let's Plays. Also, please consider backing my Ko-fi. Toss me a few bucks also helps support the show, and it's not a monthly obligation or anything like that.